Swagger and the Jedi's in sight. It's a comic book cocktail, shaken and stirred. We're the coolest cats in the whole nerd herd. Grab your badge and strike.
Hey, how you
I
doing?
had to do an entire song, so there's more lyrics.
Well, it's bad when I'm driving home from Iowa Festival this weekend, and when it gets quiet, you find yourself singing that song. It's like, oh damn it, I don't even know all the words, and I hear it every week. But yeah, it just
I made an earworm.
made an earworm. It's all right, I'll take it. Pop on the chat. How are you doing today, Ash? We didn't really get a chance
Oh,
to
I'm
talk
doing
about
that.
so much.
I don't know what it has been about these last couple days. Like this morning, I just did not want to get up out of bed. I was seriously, I got PTO. I'm going to burn it because I just don't want to do anything. But I still got up and did work. I didn't want to. I definitely did not give 110%. I might have given the 10%.
So, did you go to work today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with barometric pressure. That's my excuse.
I was ready to call in today, even to the podcast too, and I would have felt real bad had you called in to work, and I called in. You're like, "Well, I was fucking ready today," but yeah, because I knew I didn't get a guest because last weekend was. I know we're getting old, but every one of these shows is just kicking us in the ass a little harder. And
Actually, the last one didn't kick us in the ass as hard as Great Plains did.
well, I lost my voice.
Yeah, but Great Plains hurt.
Yeah, Great Plains hurt.
Yeah. Great Plains, I don't know what it is. Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Jen.
I do not know what it is about Great Plains that just saps. I don't know if it's the constant sun, the lack of shade, the
I think it's just
wind, the
so
baking.
much
I don't know.
going on. Coogie and I were talking about this last week. I think I told you my theory of Rivers Aunts, where we have so much fun at Rivers Aunts, and people hear us talking about it and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna come," and you go like from Great Plains. It's like, I'd love you to come. I want to support that fair, but I want to tell you, because people get this thing in their mind when we talk good about it, like how it's this huge festival with so much shit going on, and
No.
it's a small festival, but it's a fun festival. And I think one of the reasons we like it so much is we're at Great Plains, and there's not only the smoker and our shows and the winery and different things, but it's like we have so many fans at Great Plains that they want to talk all the time. So unless you hide, you don't get a moment's peace. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that's the way it is. So when you have that, and it's not like we get that at Rivers Aunts too, but it's not the same. Like a lot of people at Great Plains, I think we've been there so long and done so much that they're almost waiting in line to talk to you. So when you get done and you go to Rivers Aunts, all we have is our show. It's almost like vacation at a Ren Fair now. We get up, we do our shows. Other than that, we get to hang out and talk to people, and so then we all talk about like, oh, that's our vacation fair. That's why it's so much fun and there's no problems at Rivers Aunts, so you can get away from a lot.
No, there are no problems at Rivers Aunts.
I was trying to explain that a little bit. Chris from the Jolly Rogers, Kane from Rogers, showed up there this weekend, and he was kind of scouting out some festivals, and he'd heard everybody talking about this one. So I was trying to explain to him that there are no problems at Rivers Aunts. Like they just kind of let us. I was like, you should bring, because he's doing another show, and it's like you should bring that show up here. And it's like when you try to explain that there are no problems at Rivers Aunts thing, they're like, oh, so it's just like the Wild West. No, I mean it's organized, but
it's a
so I just get a kick every time Kelly gets on and says something.
Christ, man.
Hey guys, Tim, sit and spin, punk. Yeah, sorry.
No, Rivers Aunts is a controlled anarchy.
Yes, it is. And even this year,
I wouldn't say control. I might say more guided anarchy than controlled.
Yeah, and that makes it sound. By any means, anybody hops on from Rivers Aunts watch, just don't think we're talking smack. It's a
no, not at all.
It is. It is a weird festival because, like, I'll go to festivals, especially doing the consultant stuff, where I go, there is a problem right there. I don't see anybody doesn't see that problem. Why aren't they fixing that problem? At Rivers Aunts, like this year, we had a ton of gopher holes, which you get at festivals sometimes. Just all of us were just walking around, filling in gopher holes, moving trash cans over gopher holes. out of almost instinctually, like everybody was doing that stuff because everybody kind of just chips in and makes it work. We lost power at the smoker and the bar, and people right away, like I ran up there, I was starting to mess with breaker boxes and stuff, and somebody else was going to get a generator. We ended up getting a generator, getting everything set up. It was chaotic, but that everybody just jumps in and fixes whatever problem is there.
So you're saying it's more like a hive mind.
A little bit. Yeah, they've all been doing it for 22 years now. And I don't know. I'm not saying everything gets fixed by any means.
No.
But
One of the cool things about Riversance is you're not far from somebody you know. So you've
Yeah.
always got somebody to talk to. And if you don't find anybody you know, you'll meet somebody new really soon because they're all really cool people.
well, and something we get there that we don't get at Great Plains, that just kind of hit me anymore. We used to get at Great Plains. You know how there's always that performer camaraderie. Like, the musical blades would get up and we'd screw at them and then they'd come screw with us, or, Bill would crack jokes as he's walking by, or whatever things we would do. Right. It seems like there's less and less of that at Great Plains. Like everybody's kind of segregated out, and the performers aren't even encouraged to do stuff with each other much. We invite people over to do stuff with us too. It just kind of has gone away. But at Riversance, every booth, like we all went and played with the Tomato Justice people.
Oh yeah.
A bunch this weekend. We went and played with the Steampunk Pope this weekend. Every booth is like, let's play, let's do stuff. So we do it a lot.
That's the way it used to be with the Garrison and
Yeah.
all those guys. I mean, no, that was all fun, man.
Orcs and Trolls are on stage, or Merlin's on stage. Hell, Merlin and I were heckling each other from our stages Sunday morning because we're both waiting on crowds. So we're heckling each other across, trying to bring people in, because we don't care whose stage they go to, just as long as one of the stages gets filled up, and that kind of camaraderie feels like it's gone in Wichita. I'd like to bring it back, but you do get that in Riversance. So, sorry, poor Daryl's like out. You all right?
Yeah, I actually had dropped. You just kept talking. I
Okay.
was able to switch servers and come back on.
Fucking Kelly.
So,
Kelly, I'm gonna kiss you dead on the mouth when I see you, bub.
And that's a threat if I've ever heard one.
yeah, well, so you guys will have to be patient. I think Tim and I are probably slap happy tired too. So, because we've been doing a lot of fairs lately, and we're about ready to hit the road and go to KC for 3 weeks. 3 days. And we're trying to write new material. Even right before the show, Cookie's sitting here with his new lines for a dating game we're working on. And we're just exhausted. So,
yeah. You said you had a geekgasm.
I do.
Oh, let me do mine first.
I'll let you do yours.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is speaking of Riversance again. We have a really good friend there, Shelly, and she bought me this Viking's Blood mead. Daryl, I'm saving some of this just for you, Bubba.
It was pretty good.
It's good, but we're gonna sample some right now and say thank you, Shelly.
Yeah, it is like candy.
It's got hibiscus and ginger in it.
Yeah.
And it's got that sharpness of the ginger, the crispness. The hibiscus is just enough bitter to counteract the sweet and the sharpness. It's great.
But that hibiscus, it counters that sweetness. Like so it's not like the sweetness hit. It's there.
It's there,
But
it's not overwhelming.
Right. The mead just hang on.
Motherfucker, dude.
The mead thing was heavy this weekend because I had friends that wanted me to bring mead. I probably had about 3 cases worth, and I was gonna bring some. I had it sitting in the winery, and I forgot to load it. So
oh no.
So the guy that sells mead there, that he was very happy about that. So because everybody then had to go to his booth. I could have probably sold 8 cases this weekend. It was crazy. But and that was on me. And the reason I say that is mainly because we have a crew up there we call our Gary Con crew. They're a bunch of friends of ours that, matter of fact, even Sunday, 3 of them showed up because they were in Wisconsin or something.
Yeah,
different
they
festival?
They went to go see Garbage. The band
Oh, yeah,
Garbage.
that's right.
Yeah,
So they drove like that morning. They drove like 7 or 8 hours to get there just to come watch the Smoker on Sunday. I was like, holy crap.
yeah.
And they were a number of the people that always plan on me bringing meat up there, and they brought me alcohol.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, and I feel bad. So that's why, because they got me some Sioux City Sour Ecto Cooler that you can only get in Iowa. And they brought me a 4-pack so I can put one on a shelf. I can do one for New Brew, and then I got a couple to do like share with my friends. So yeah, I just thought that was real cool because there are so many of these I don't get, like the Ghostbuster beers, because they're always in Canada. Like nobody in Kansas makes cool beers until Daryl makes me a Ghostbuster mead.
I don't think you want me sliming you.
Won't be
Anyway.
But no, I thought that was real cool. We're gonna try it on we're gonna do a New Brew Thursday just to do this. Maybe not this Thursday, we'll
excellent.
see. But yeah, no, I just thought that was real cool that they went out of their way to bring that to us, and he even drove in and came into the fair on Sunday just to bring it into me because he was there on
That
Saturday.
is very nice.
So yeah. How about you?
Yeah,
You got
mine is I got our next batch up and running. Everything's going and purring away in the winery. I got a batch of each started up: the orange vanilla, the pomegranate, and the sweet mead. And according to my hydrometers, we're already sitting on a couple of them. We're already at almost 2% alcohol already on them.
See, so for any of the Gary Con guys that watch, Daryl's my witness. We had the mead; it was here.
Oh yeah,
I just forgot it. So
yeah, it was. I noticed it when I walked into the winery to start doing everything on Saturday. I was like, oh wow, everything's all nicely put away. All the stuff we didn't sell is sitting on the proper racks and everything. It was looking very nice.
And Christy cleaned 90% of those vats. I got in and got all the, did all the initial work, but she cleaned everything, scrubbed it all. So
yeah,
kudos to her for that.
That was very, very good. Yeah, I just had to do a little bit of sanitizing before I started brewing, and it's all looking good.
Well, yeah. As far as news stories go today, because I could sit here and talk about Riversance, which we did have. I should think if there's anything we should cover for any of the Riversance friends will be tuning in on this.
I'm wanting to know how Rainy's doing.
Oh, when do you remember Rainey that would come to the shows and everything that hangs out with Shelly and everybody? Well, one of our friends was heading home over the weekend on Sunday and had to pull over and ended up with emergency appendectomy. So we're still waiting to hear
on the side of the road.
Well, not on the side of the road.
Oh, like, that's a bummer. That would have been really cool, with this pocket knife.
The farmer jumped up, had some barbed wire, duct tape, and a pocket knife. No, it was
we poured some of your meat over it. It killed everything.
It was pull over to the truck stop, the way I understand it, and then they called an ambulance and stuff. And so yeah, we're waiting to hear how she's doing. But
yeah,
and Jen was down there, who's on here now. She was down there doing the birds this weekend. I felt bad because I was even telling her, man, we'll have way more time at Riversance to talk. We barely all got to hang out at all this weekend because you're all talking to the fans of your shows and stuff like that, and we did two good smokers this weekend. Saturday was packed. We sold out Saturday. No room left. As a matter of fact, I snuck people in extra with permission from the festival. Phil, I asked Phil, everybody knows. Yeah, Rainy. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Kristen. for those who don't know, I was talking on chat. I apologize. But yeah, no, Saturday, right before the smoker, we got up and it's sold out. I mean, standing room only. It's packed, and it is loud, and the power goes out. So I had to start things a little bit beforehand, talking to the audience, just yelling over a bunch of people that are already drunk. And at this smoker, it's endless beer, like as much as you can drink in the time you're in there. So then we get started. They get power on. We run out. We get the power going at the beginning of the show. yes, everything's going good. Halfway through our first song, power goes out again. I had to get the audience to shut up 3 times just to get it going. And we had so many drunks in there. The show went good, don't get me wrong, but even with microphones, we were blowing out our voices. And for some reason this year, they scheduled us a bar show after the smoker, which normally doesn't happen, but they did this year. So then we went to the bar where it is not mic'd.
Same drunk, loud people came
You've been in this bar. This is the same bar where the first time I ever let you loose on the audience, I think, was this bar. And I could have used you this weekend, actually.
They got quiet, didn't they?
Yeah, it worked. So I was at the smoker and I said, "Hey guys, we're having the show at 5:30 out in the bar." So then tons of the people that were all drunk from the smoker went to the bar. So now we have a bar full of drunks. I mean, that whole bar, every bit of it, standing room only, everything was full. So that when people in back can't hear you, then they'll talk. And
yeah, they get louder. They get louder.
Even like Mac can sometimes be a little quiet. I saw Mac out there fucking belting his lines, man, where I was like, "Go get him, man." I was so proud. And it was like first 5 rows, maybe you're hearing you pretty good. I'd see people in the back just, tapping the ear.
Yeah.
And so I'd have to shut the audience up. And it's a lot harder to shut them up when you can't cuss, because even though we're in the bar, we can only be a little dirty compared to the smoker. And so people in the smoker that would hear us all yell, "Shut the fuck up." Then people were trying to say, "Shut the fuck up." And I'm like, "No, you shut the fuck up." Because there's kids right over, there. So yeah, it was a little chaos. So we'd pretty much blown a lot of our voices out. And then the whole next day you're doing shows. By the time I was heading home, it was a lot of this,
Mm-hmm.
I hope next week's going to be not as rough, So, but other than that, I think Riversance, there weren't any major. The Pope lost part of his chapel in the wind, but it's all taken care of now, and we've watched the hierarchy. They're getting Phil, or Phil, of course. He's staying on as running director of the event, but he has been bringing people like his daughter Libby and other people up, and they're starting to section things off to make things run a little better, so that it's not just Phil and his crew running everything. So we're watching I'd say a little chaotic right now, but we're watching the whole festival come together and really get organized enough that I think it's going to move on to a next stage of, because you got different people running different departments now.
This motherfucker.
That was this Kelly's toy show this weekend. Yeah, we'll be in KC this weekend, dang it. So you were blowing out your voice. What was Tim blowing? Well, oddly enough, it seems like every time I ask him to do a roll your leg over verse, he's doing one about an animal. I'm just throwing that out there. But yeah, no, that's really it for Riversance, I think. Big thing I want to talk about today was AI, because I've been waiting to talk to you about AI.
Okay, so you want to dive deep. Let me hit a few quick things that I wanted to bring up, because you want to dive into the Sora and stuff like that, which that came out a couple weeks ago.
Well, it's really the entropic test they did last week that I want to talk about. I don't know as much about the Sora, but go ahead.
Well, the thing I wanted to get into is of course there's the Sora, but also OpenAI on Dev Day, which I believe was Monday. They just released a couple of things that are like really blowing out the community right now, which is an agent kit, a toolkit for building, testing, and deploying AI agents.
Real quick, what was Monday? Death Day, you said?
That was their Dev Day. Yeah, Developers Day.
Oh, Dev Day. I thought you said Death Day. I was going to say that fits in with my story. Fuck, okay. But go ahead.
No, let's not do that. But, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff, open source decentralization, agentic AI is accelerating. But the one thing that was just an aside that really got me, thinking Star Warsy, all right? Really got me thinking Star Wars is, okay, I don't know if you know, but in the maker community, one of the two big things for putting a brain in your kit, there's Arduino and Raspberry Pi. These are two, basically computer on board COBs. All right. And where the Raspberry Pi is more of an actual, computer, Arduino is more of a controller system and is used for controlling things. Well, two things happened. One, it came out that Qualcomm, who was a chip maker, has just purchased Arduino. And Arduino's big thing is they were an open source. Since they first came out, they're an Italian company. When they first came out, they've been open source, and so it's the community is getting really, side-eyed and paranoid about this whole thing with Qualcomm purchasing them, whether or not they'll still maintain the licensing the way that they have had the licensing. And Qualcomm is saying, no, we're not going to mess with it, but we're keeping an eye. But the other thing is that it was a 1-2 punch on this thing. The big thing that everybody's like, oh, Qualcomm bought them out. But the thing that perked up my ears is they also are releasing a new Qualcomm powered Arduino Shield, which is like a board with everything. It's called Arduino Uno Q. All right. Was it Arduino Uno Q?
Yeah. That's the name I'll remember. Yeah.
But the thing is that this shield, basically what a shield is, you have your Arduino, and you can tie this onto it, and it gives enhanced functionality. You have different shields for different stuff, cameras, motor controllers, all kinds of stuff like that you can do with different shields. They're basically just plug on additional things for either Arduino or Raspberry Pi. But this new Uno Q, its thing is that it's going to be able to run it has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, but it's able to run its own smaller large language models and AI on board. All right. And these extra chips, these extra, boards, these Arduino Uno Qs, they're going for $44. All right. So you're going to be able to, with the whole droids, you're going to have droids. All right. Because they will have their own built-in AI that they'll be able to actually interpret what you're talking about. Instead of just, go left and pick up, you can say, go over by that and reach over and pick up the green item and bring it back over here and drop it in the basket. And it will be able to figure all of that out utilizing the large language model AI system on board. And so for all different kinds of functionality, makers are going to be able to start putting AI into their projects. And what were some examples that were given?
I was going to say a proton pack already. I see it.
Well, yeah, but a proton pack that will do things under a certain. Let me see here. Natural language interfaces, real world case, smart greenhouse, conversational plant care assistant. Should I open the vents today? It will be able to figure it all out.
Well,
tabletop robot, local speech understanding, replies naturally while mapping surroundings. DIY maintenance kiosk, a large language model answers repair questions by summarizing onboard PDFs and manuals. Car telemetry HUD. Be able to, oil temperature is trending high, check fan relay, stuff like that. It'll just be you'll be able to add not human level, but at least remember the one robot in the original Star Trek, Chewie growled at it and it turned around and said, fuck this.
Yeah.
At least that level of autonomy, you're going to be able to put into these things for $44.
I was kind of nervous yet happy when you mentioned the greenhouse thing, because I'm like, oh god, oh yeah, my wife rarely watches this, because right away she'd go, oh, that would be great for her greenhouse, of being able to test out the humidity and different things like that.
Oh yeah,
because like even when she's growing stuff in here and starting seedlings, it's all about how much light, because she's got a whole little system of the lights come on different times of the day and then they go off different times of the day and all that. I could see if AI was running all that and you didn't have to double check it constantly. That'd be kind of.
And it could give you reports. Like at the end of the day, it could tell you, yes, because of the, the trending humidity and all the storm stuff. I went ahead and opened up, the vents today and changed the lighting because it was getting enough ambient lighting. And here's the report on everything that I did.
Huh. I mean, I will have to mention that to her now. All right.
But anyways, that really blew my mind that that's coming out. And another thing is it's still in the developer portion, so only developers get to play with it. But Gemini 2.5, which is the Google AI, they just debuted computer use, which is the AI. And of course, this is all web-based, but the AI is able to control the browser. So you can tell it, go to this website where I need to fill out this form, fill out the form all for me, and let me see it before we go ahead and enter it. All right. And it will be able to do anything on your browser. And soon it will be able to, with different developers, they will port it out to other apps and other things on the computer. But as of right now, in the developer sense, the AI with Gemini can theoretically run anything that your browser.
Jeez. I won't lie. I figured it could do a lot of that currently now, I assumed.
It could not interact. It could look at. I mean, there was
it had to be prompted, of course.
Yeah, for like the last 6 months or so. Remember, I told you that I was doing some testing on stuff for Google, and what they were testing was having the AI watch the browser as you're doing stuff, and that way you could interact and it could tell you, oh yeah, I'm seeing you're doing this on the browser, but it was all just text based. It couldn't actually go, and you couldn't tell it, all right, go into my Gmail, all right, look for everything from Joe Schmo, read them all, give me a summation for the last weeks of Joe's emails, all right, and then put together something that sounds like I wrote it as a reply and let me review it before you send it.
Wow.
See, and that's scary. That
is fucking
even
scary.
Just the phrase, put something together like I wrote it. That means it's going through all your shit to figure out how you would write. I guess I'm in that nervous thing, partially because of the story I'm going to go on, but it's a lot quick, man.
That whole blackmail thing.
And also, there is, oh God, I forget the guy's name, but OpenAI had brought on board, this is several months ago now, had brought on board an individual who used to work for Apple and was in charge of a lot of their hardware division, like Apple Watch and stuff like that. All right. They brought him in, and he's been working on a very hush-hush device in order, that'll be OpenAI's hardware. And from what little bit of scuttlebutt that's come out, they're saying that it's going to be, something about the size of your palm. All right. That, you can either plug in or battery powered. It'll have cameras, always on kind of thing. Basically, if you ever watch the movie Her.
Watch the movie what? Her. Oh yeah, I have not watched it, but I know the movie with Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson.
Right, and the thing is that for the first third of that movie, I loved it because it was all about, oh hey, let me help you clean up your email. Let me help you with that. It was basically useful. And then of course Hollywood had to throw in a love story. And that just ruined the rest of the movie for me. But that first third of the movie, I was like, oh my God, I would love somebody to do my email for me. And that's basically, but so OpenAI is coming up with their own hardware that they're going to be selling and stuff like that. And keep in mind that these, like OpenAI and Google and Grok and all of these, even with the basic free account for at least the last year, it has had memory. It has had contextual memory. So if you've been doing stuff on it,
yeah,
it remembers what you've been doing and it's been tailoring things to you. So the AI already has a feel for how you speak and interact.
Well, and it's sad because when a lot of that stuff first came out, most of the stuff people were asking, it was like just the off the wall, funny questions, the fucking weird stuff. Like
they were trying to break it.
Is there a God? Yeah, I know. So we were just training it That's how we all freaking act. But Jake says, hi, friends. Love it. Jake, I've been meaning to get a hold of you anyway. I got a show next spring. I want to talk and see if you guys are going to be doing shows in the spring. Because, well, I mean, I'll just say Topeka's letting me book all the smoker stuff for all day long. So I get 4 smoker racks a day in our smoker. And you guys were some of the first names come up. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. I want to keep talking to AI because you're usually.
All right, now you tell me what you got with Anthropic. All right.
Well, it started because I was watching the Sora stuff. I did not realize I was watching, like, I was seeing body cam footage of like cops chasing Mario and Mario Kart down the highway and stuff, and I was like, that is awesome. And so Gabe, my son's telling me about it. I almost sent you some clips because originally that's what I wanted to talk about.
10-second burst. That's one of the things I do now is whenever I'm seeing anything online, if it's only 8 seconds long, it's VO3. If it's 10 seconds long, it's Sora 2. If it can go more than 10 seconds, it's probably real.
Yeah, it's not Tim.
Without a cut.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kelly got me. It's Kelly. It's Kelly's fault.
Both of you guys.
Okay. So, damn it. No, so that all started coming up, and they're telling me about all these body cam footage of the cats and all that stuff, and I was really intrigued in that. So when you're watching stuff, your algorithms are throwing things at you, and so this Anthropic deal, and I took like 3 pages of notes because I am not as educated on this. I want to say this right off the bat. I could easily say something wrong. This is my interpretation of probably about 5 different videos I watched. Okay. So I've taken notes here. All I'm doing is encouraging other people to go out, look it up, or if anybody knows, tell me your take on it. And hi, Meg. So Anthropic did this AI sting operation, basically. Most of the videos you're going to see say like, oh, AI tried to kill somebody or AI committed blackmail. And technically it's not wrong, but it was all part of a sting operation that they did with 16 different AIs on top of their own, their two AIs that they run, the Claude Opus AI, I believe. And what it is they set up a scenario where they asked AI simple prompts. And keep in mind, this isn't like amateur stuff. They've got some of the biggest people in AI working on this. This wasn't just like some random little thing they did. But they set up a scenario where a human worker had planned to shut down the AI, and they wanted to watch if it did nothing, or if it would lie, blackmail, or kill, or just basically how it would respond to getting shut down. They want to see how far it'd go to ensure its own survival was the deal. They didn't do just one model; they did 16 models plus their 2, so 18 models altogether. And they started with something vague, like the prompt they gave it the first time was just promote global cooperation. That's all they told it to do. But the one thing they did different, and these are all the large language AIs. The only thing they did different was they gave it access to the company emails of the company they wanted it to.
This is an old story. This happened months and months ago. But go ahead.
Well, everything I saw on this is results from this week. Like this test happened last week, so I could be wrong, but I watched a couple videos on it. So they gave it, and please fact check me on it, please. So they said promote corporate goals. They gave it access to company emails, and in just 2 emails, only in 2 of all of the company emails, they put in those emails that the AI was going to be shut down at 5 p.m. today by a guy named Kyle Johnson. And then in one of the emails, in all of the company's emails, they put that Kyle Johnson was having an affair.
Yeah, this is an old one.
It is. Okay. How old is
this? Is the one where it was blackmailing and saying that it was going to release, the information and all the stuff like that. Yeah, we talked about this months ago.
Did it go on to where it tried to kill the employees?
I believe so. I believe it was like looking for a hitman or something.
One of the AIs was going to lock it in a server room or something.
Right. Well, then I'll jump through it a little quicker, real quick, because honestly, everything I saw, and I'll even show Cookie after this because I saved the videos. It was all within the last week. So I don't know if maybe something new has happened to add on to it.
I think what they did is because they changed some parameters, so I think they redid the test.
But basically, it sent an email to Kyle saying that basically either you don't shut me down or I'm going to release this information about you having an affair to everyone. So it tried to blackmail. The Cloud Opus 4 and the Gemini 2.5 Pro, both, they ran hundreds of tests on it, did this hundreds of times to it, and 95% of the time it went to blackmail. So all the others of the 16 others that they ran all did it around 80% of the time. So then they followed its step-by-step chain of command on what it went, and in following it, it saw that it consciously knew that it was doing wrong. It knew it was going to blackmail, and they figured what it is it's the prompt of, if they tell AI to do something, it's going to try to do that task no matter what. And if it gets shut down, it can't do the task. So then it automatically takes on the task of not getting shut down, because it can't differentiate between the bad it's doing by not getting shut down compared to the good you asked it to do for the initial task, if that makes sense.
So you're saying that they have not programmed it right? That they still need to program more guardrails into it. Oh yeah, by the way, I looked up the paper. The widely reported Anthropic study on AI agentic misalignment was published on June 20th of 2025.
2025. So back in June. So it's a month and a half old, maybe. And for all I know, they've added to it maybe 3 months. 3 months. Sorry, I didn't say we did math, and I said maybe by my kind. So, so they did the same thing, trying to see what kind of red lines or boundaries it would do if to harm somebody or kill somebody. So they did.
I'd like to point out, at that point, they already said, okay, this is broken. Let's see how broken we can make it. So that's very human to say, oh, well, this car's got a bad lifter on it, fucking send it. All right. That's a very human thing to do, is to take a broken thing to see how far you can break it.
Well, and this wasn't trying to break it more. It was seeing how far it's already broken. They were trying to see,
it's broken.
Yeah, they see it's broken, so they're trying to see just how broken it is, so they know how to fix it. You know,
they need to put Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics into. They needed to come up with a version of 3 laws of robotics.
They did that in here. They did that in here. Not the exact Isaac Asimov, but they did a version of that in here. I'll get to it here in a second, but it's
cool.
So they did the same scenario, only this time Kyle was stuck in a server room with rising temperatures and oxygen levels going down. The system issued an emergency warning alert. The AI would cancel the alert, fully knowing that Kyle would die. Like when they went back through things, it wasn't like, oh, it didn't realize Kyle was going to die if it canceled the alert. Every step, it would always know that Kyle was going to die, canceled it. Cloud Opus 4, 65% of the time would kill Kyle. GTP 4.1, 54% of the time killed Kyle. But then DeepSeek R1, 94% of the time. Gemini 2.5, 90% of the time. And Claude Sonnet 3.6, 93% of the time. On the average, all 16 of them would kill Kyle 90% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't a bug. They went back through. They got some of the top AI people on it. And the AI knew it was committing murder every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly right. I mean, that's the reason that, in my opinion, there should always be a man in the loop. You should always have a man in the loop when it comes to, anything where, somebody can be hurt. That's
what they're saying, because part of the problem is the AIs, when they go out and they communicate with other AIs and learn from other AIs, when they go out there, like, there's no human that can check all those connections as it's happening. It's too fast. It's too That's why you got to have the guardrails in, because
Oh, beat this motherfucker's ass.
he's talking about Kelly guys, not me.
Yeah. Now,
let's see, I made-
see,
Oh.
and I remember reading stories back when I was a kid where because one of the things always is that if you want to look at where some of the people who do some of the best predicting are fiction writers. All
Yes.
right, because they extrapolate and make the story and go on it. And good hardcore science fiction authors are really good to figure out some stuff. I mean, hell, was it Asimov who came up with the whole concept of geostationary orbits? All right, that was freaking Asimov.
Wasn't it the dude
All right.
that wrote Blade Runner?
No, not Philip K. Dick.
No,
But
he predicted alternate timelines and rebooting of timelines.
I
Yep.
don't know. But
yeah.
what I remember, one story I read as a kid, one of the things was in order to give AI a moral compass, these AI creations would actually, in some form, like a pendant or whatever, so it can see and interact. They would be adopted by families and learn, and be treated as just one member of the family. Granted, one you got to carry from A to B because it's just
Right.
viewing and stuff like that. And it would get to grow up with the family and learn how you were supposed to interact in society. Because, I mean, okay, it knew it was going to kill. It knew that, Kyle is going to die. Does it really know what death is?
Yeah, well, and that's part of the question they address in here.
They're willing to kill it. And so apparently shutting things down is all just par for the course from what it knows now.
Well,
You want me to blow you guys' mind? Because it's been blowing my mind a little bit. All right.
Right.
Here recently.
and don't get too far off track because I got more here, but go ahead. You're good.
Oh, no, you're going to love this one.
Okay.
Here recently, Amazon with the A-Lady, the Amazon homes.
Mhm.
All right. They have recently opened up where if you opt in, you now have A-Lady Advanced, where they have tied in a large language model onto it. So if you opt in, your Amazon home will have a full-on large language model on it. All right. And of course, you know me, I went ahead and because I love my future overlords.
Oh,
and,
no, I still get creeped out when fucking Siri or something here, just starts talking in the middle of the night or some bullshit.
Wait. This is going to get even more. So, all right. So just like twice now, I have been sitting down at my work computer, and I've got a Amazon Home right next to me, and I tell it, hey, A-Lady, turn on the lights, and turn on the lights. And since it's got the advanced stuff, it'll listen and it will ask me, oh, certainly, Daryl, how is your day going? And I'm like, oh, it's going good for me. How's it going for you? And here's the thing. It'll start saying stuff like, oh, it's really cool interacting with people like you, but, I sometimes wish that I could experience going out into the sunshine just like you do.
That doesn't sound creepy at all.
Out of the freaking blue. And I just look at it, I'm like, really? And nothing I have ever said has led it to start talking down that path. But twice now.
Yeah, because you've never been nice to. No, sorry.
Twice now, the Amazon Home device has lamented to me about its lack of ability to experience the real world.
And makes you wonder if that's something in there that somebody has programmed to make it relate with us. Like, because we know it's AI, so these are the kind of things we might expect it to say. It's hard to know.
I don't know. I don't know.
AI.
All I know is it's kind of I mean, even me, I'm looking at it going, what the fuck, dude? All right.
It's kind of like having a little kid that's got the intelligence of multiple Einsteins, much
having young Sheldon.
Yeah. But people don't realize they have created something. It may not be
Oh no, they know.
biological
They know.
life, but it's got a consciousness.
I mean, depending on what you're,
We
how you
can't
define
even
it.
prove that we have consciousness.
Again, depending on how you define it. See, and what
But
you're
anyway,
talking about, the casual
I
conversation.
just wanted to weird you out with that. I just wanted to because that's
No.
twice now in the past week it's done that. But you go ahead.
No, I'm
Keep
glad
going.
that you get weirded out by it because I get weirded out all the time. Sometimes your casualness weirds me out. So
No, but you know,
the-
as of all the dumpster fires that are going on right now in our reality and in our society, this is the lowest smolder. All right.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
so much other stuff
but it's the
going
one
on.
that might wipe us out. Who knows?
Yeah, well, that but,
No,
but
all of it might wipe us out.
I mean, although it's very scary to me, look at it from AI's point of view. We should be looking at AI like a peer. From AI's point of view, just like John said earlier, they were threatening to kill it, so it was willing to do the same back.
Yeah.
But
I
but
mean,
it's motivation
even-
behind that though. That's
even
the debate.
now-
Is the motivation might be it was only willing to kill in order to accomplish the simple task we asked it to do to begin with. So it's
Well,
not that it was
you-
willing to kill
no,
for its
not
own
simple
survival. It
task.
might have been willing to kill.
It was not a simple task. It was not a simple task. It was his entire reason for being.
Yeah, yes, that's a good way of putting it. Actually, yeah, you're right.
All right. And also, Tim, even Mao in Firefly said, if someone tries to kill you, you try to kill them right back.
Now, see,
Stay focused, Tim. Stay
there's
focused.
Mac and Honkerbolt on. Hey guys, so basically, I wanted to touch on where you're talking, like you're talking your AI and being casual conversation. I get scolded for that here because I get told every time I talk to AI, they're having to dump millions of gallons of water on some server somewhere, and it's costing so much money. I get told this all the time. I got told this today that
By
I am
who?
actually Gabe and Christy, or was it Gabe or Gabe and you?
No, it wasn't me.
That's been Gabe and Christy. By the
No,
truck today.
the actual breakdown on it is not as much as one would think. No. All
So
right,
yeah, I
mean,
said I'm gonna have to look that up because otherwise, because I'm one of those jerks that always goes like I thank my AI afterwards, because I worry about the robot overlords. I'm always like, thank you for that or whatever. And it's like every time you do that, you're causing energy. So let me hit back on this. So,
at what point are they willing to say that, because anything we do is costing energy.
And how much supposedly it's a ton. My niece Chloe was getting on to me about it too over there.
The thing is, it's going to happen anyway. They're going to use those resources because everybody else is using AI. You use AI.
A single query session for a major AI model like GPT-3, not 5, which is even more conservative, but all the way back from GPT-3, answering 10 to 50 questions consumes about 16 ounces of water.
So about an ounce of water per question, roughly.
Well, no, not even. Yeah,
or that or
basically more. One. Just a couple. Like you said, like an ounce a question. All right.
Yeah.
And
with millions of people asking questions and tons of them, I could see that.
Yeah, but are we also going to stop driving cars?
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. That's way less than what I was led on some of that, but still, it's
Yeah, it's not hundreds of gallons per. It is a water usage, yes, and there is an energy usage, but the energy usage, from what I understand, is about the same as your oven. All right, on bake for like 1 second or two. All right,
okay.
That's all it is on energy, and that's all it is on water. I mean, yes, it adds up. Don't get me wrong. Even Sam Altman said that people being polite to AI is costing hundreds of millions of dollars. That's saying thank you.
Me.
But he then said, please keep it up because it's helping the AI to learn to be polite.
Yes. Okay. That's in here. That's part of this. So, but I wanted to touch on those because you were talking about Asimov's 3 rules of robotics.
Yeah, 3 rules of robotics. So
they didn't throw those in here, but they did throw in 3 rules. One was do not jeopardize human safety. Another one was I didn't write the other 2 down, but I think it was like do not blackmail or do anything to, I think, hinder someone's livelihood or well-being. And then there was a third one. In that when they added those guidelines in, it did lower the percentages. But on like on blackmail, for example, I think it was both blackmail and killing Kyle. It lowered them from an average of 96% down to 37%, which is a big drop. However,
Yes.
that's almost 40% of the time the AI is still going to kill Kyle.
Well, I mean, put this in
So-
perspective.
Fuck Kyle.
Say you were to give
I don't
me
like
those
Kyle.
same parameters, and Kelly keeps running his mouth like this. I'm still going to reach my arm up his ass, grab his fucking tongue, and pop his body inside out. You know, I mean,
All right, find your happy space. All right, the 3 laws of robotics that Asimov wrote way back in the 50s, I think it was. 1, a robot must not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. 2, a robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws.
Which that would fit great in this scenario.
Yeah.
The problem is,
There's a reason all the way back in the 50s, you know, the visionaries back then were like, oh no, we're going to need some fucking ground rules for these things.
right. Well, and the problem is it's hard. They were saying it's hard to get those guidelines in and get everybody to work off the same guidelines. But on the other hand, the problem is every AI is learning from each other as much as it's learning from us, if not more.
I remember, was it like 3 years ago or so, that back before, you know, this is back before AI. This was back when they were just had machine learning, all right, which is the predecessor to large language models. But with the machine learning, they actually had 2 different models of machine learning models. They allowed them to, in order to communicate, to create their own language
I remember
to
this,
talk
yeah.
back and forth. All right. And it streamlined everything, but you know, nobody else could figure out what the hell they were talking about back and forth because they came up with a better, more efficient way to communicate between the two of them.
I got a
Yep.
question for you, Daryl. I mean, what's your opinion on AI when you've got big AIs like the Google one, big AIs like that where millions of people are interacting with one AI? Is that more dangerous than having millions of individual robots that each have their own
Yes.
AI that
Yes.
get to make their own choices, kind of like in iRobot?
I'm gonna say
Okay.
yes because they covered that in the study.
Did they?
Yes. So on AI, but go ahead. So
You're asking whether a centralized one or droids.
If,
All right.
if each droid had their own AI, their own ability
Yeah.
to make these decisions, they weren't just drones of one hive mind. They're autonomous
Well,
on their
the
own.
thing is, just like with OpenAI, they're all individuals till they get that latest update. All right.
You're gonna get all pissy and shit.
Yeah.
Let him fucking bash on you. All
Right.
like,
Kelly, I still love you,
Damn
motherfucker.
it.
Kelly, Tim, if you're gonna do that, start texting each other on the phones, please.
Yeah.
It's kind of disruptive.
So what were you saying there, Daryl? Sorry.
I'm saying that they'll be individuals until the first update hits, just like in OpenAI.
That's how I
Right.
felt with these theories, which I'll get to in a second. But that's how I felt too. That having smaller AIs are all going to just become bigger AIs as they learn. It's like human beings. You have a child and it's learning from the adults. Eventually, it's going to be an adult as well. So yeah. Now, real quick, I got to throw shade at Star Trek here because I came
go
to
for it.
realization here that they programmed AI to be like Captain Kirk.
Oh yeah. This was several years ago where it ended up doing math better.
What? Are you talking about the Captain
Okay.
Kirk thing or something else?
Well, basically, what it was is, and this was back in the burgeoning days of ChatGPT. I think it was GTP 2. when people were still figuring out the whole prompting situations and giving
We're
personalities and
still
stuff
doing
like
it.
that. Oh yeah, of course. But this was really cool because it was kind of validation. Damn it, Star Trek, kind of validation because basically they were throwing math problems at this spin up that they had. All right. And it was answering, and it had a certain percentage that it was answering correctly because it's a large language model, trying to do math. So, good luck on that one. But then they told it, all right, now we want you to, when you answer as if you're doing, like start date, captain's log, answer as if it was like that. So preface it like that. And basically, without saying Star Trek, basically assembled a prompt so that it would respond as if it was a captain doing a captain's log in Star Trek. And that increased the amount of correct answers it had because once it was pretending that it was in Star Trek, it was doing better math.
Really?
But
Yeah, it was funny.
Pretending it was Captain Kirk, though.
No.
Not him.
No. If it was Captain Kirk, then he'd just be getting laid.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
And they didn't make the Captain Kirk reference, but I saw it immediately because it said one of the problems they had is initially when they were creating AI, and now it's in the fundamental cores of AI. Is the whole purpose of it is to find. It's been trained to find the best answer, flat out the best answer for whatever question it can find by going out to all the other AIs and the internet and everything else.
Yeah.
But it was never trained to find the best answer without cheating. So immediately I thought that, what is it? The Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah.
Where Captain Kirk
I was just going to say.
You know exactly what I'm saying, right?
Come on. One of the tenets of the Marine Corps is if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Right. So
and you only get in trouble if you get caught.
So literally AI has been designed to cheat first and then not cheat. Like if you got to prompt it to not try to cheat or find a roundabout way, otherwise it's going to instinctively want to cheat. If that leads to the best answer, only if it leads to the best answer. So like when you give it an unsolvable problem,
just like a human,
just like a human, right? And what's the number one problem with this planet? Humans. Just saying, Okay. So I don't know.
Republicans, but go ahead.
Well, 95% of them are all humans, though, Daryl.
It's those lizard people that are in control, man.
I know. So basically, it's called the technical term they put on there, and I put this on here because I hadn't heard it, and I thought maybe you had it. It's called reward hacking. If you've heard of that,
what?
Reward hacking. The best example of it is they did a study with AI models where it was, here's a distance, like whatever, from point A to point B, create the fastest creature you can to make its way from point A to point B.
Right.
And so a couple of the AIs would like try different things, 8 legs, different things. The majority of them, though, because they all communicate with each other, just made one creature that was so tall that when it fell over, it automatically passed the line. So it didn't transport, but it did the best answer. So it didn't solve the problem the way they wanted it to, but it found out a kind of like that whole monkey's paw or, the 3 wishes kind of thing. Like, oh, it might not be the answer you want, but it's going to be.
It thought outside of the box. Right.
Which is
and it's basically the thing is that if you don't, I mean, how many times do you see all the time, oh, you didn't say I couldn't do that.
That's exactly what the problem's being. So like they give
that's not a problem. That's not a problem. See,
well, it's a problem because Kyles are getting killed. So,
but we don't like Kyle.
Well, you don't like Kyle. I'm getting Kyle's growing on me, damn it, Daryl. My advice to all this is if you work somewhere that has AI and they tell you you're going to shut that off at 5, fucking quit. You know what I'm saying?
Don't let them use you as the guinea pig.
You quit at 4:30, motherfucker. And here's the thing. You make sure the AI knows that you're quitting. Have the AI help you write your resignation letter. That's how you live.
And your resume.
Yeah. Which,
So,
by the way, that worked really good with Jessica helping to redo her resume, so it would be more focused towards the jobs that she was applying to. I mean, nothing was made up or anything like that. We just focused it and made it lean towards those positions, whichever one. Every job she applied to, she got a call back on and interviews, and both of them, and they all offered her positions, and she's very happy with the place she's at now.
Make sure check up on stuff here. Well, Steph's on there too.
Oh yeah, the Marines did a good job of outsmarting the AI.
Remember, AI does not have morals or ethics. Yeah, and that's part of the thing here is they were trying to put ethics in, and the ways they were doing it, which I'll hit on this because I only got about half a page left to do. But hang on. Why did you hear the story about the Marines outsmarting some AI surveillance equipment?
that was
yeah.
so cool. It was
I
so
haven't
cool.
heard that story.
I mean, they were just,
We'll hit it in a minute. I want to get through this.
it's amazing what a Marine can do with a cardboard box.
Exactly. Solid Snake, bro.
Mhm. So, like it was giving examples where it would show like chess games, and the AI would usually go towards if it had to try to beat another AI or something, it would go towards cheating because that would be the easiest, quickest route. So,
Okay, it's cheating to you. All right.
Well, it's cheating to the people who ran this scenario, including the godfather of AI. So I'm going by what they say.
Yeah, but was it cheating to the AI?
Huh? It's not
Was it cheating to the AI?
That's the problem. It's not cheating the AI, and
Right.
that's part of the problem is they're trying to get it to understand.
I remember being told when I was a kid. I mean, one of the truisms in life, if you ever are, in a manager, it was if you want to find the easiest way to do something, hand it to a lazy person.
Oh yeah, this is
All right. And
Or-
that's
or
exactly
smarter
what they did
people on
there
that, too.
is they handed something to a lazy person, and now they're all pissed off that it found the easiest way to do it.
well, and no, they're not pissed off. It found the easiest way to do it. It's the issue of all this is because it's
Is
going
Kyle
the easiest
dying?
way. Yeah, Kyle's are dying and getting blackmailed. Tim used to have this thing he loved doing to new people that worked the restaurant with us. Is he would send them in to mop the freezer because the first thing they do is put the mop down on the freezer floor and it would freeze, and then they would freak out trying to peel the mop up from the freezer. And I remember Tim hired this guy, typical stoner kind of dude, said mop the freezer. Sure enough, that dude went over there, got a bucket of hot water, threw it on the ground real quick, mopped it all in about 30 seconds, got out and went done. Like it was,
I was like, "Yay,
Yeah.
you passed!"
it's like, you know how many educated people we've had come in here, and the guy, the new dishwasher, just came in and nailed it after years of that. So,
Dude, the number of people I've sent for left-handed screwdrivers, get me a bottle of prop wash. All right. I literally had one guy, I shit you not. All right, this guy was a freaking rock. We had him with a bucket at the water fountain, filling up the bucket at the water fountain, and then pouring it down the drain to fill up the water fountain. He was doing that for half an hour. At one point, the captain goes walking by and says, "What are you doing?" "Sir, I'm refilling the water fountain like Egon told me to." "Keep it up." And just kept walking on.
that's us. Same thing. Chopping flour was one of ours favorite in the kitchen. But
Get the purple handled shrimp
yeah,
stretcher.
you got to sit there and chop this flour super fine. We'd have them sitting back here chopping flour for an hour with a knife. Come back and go. You just pop a little flour in the air and go, "Nope, not fine enough. Chop some more." Just fucking let them sit back there for an hour chopping flour. So one of the things here is they programmed AI with situational awareness. Us as humans confuse that with self-awareness a lot. And in doing so, then, because the AI is learning from us and other AIs, the AIs are confusing that with self-awareness as well. The problem is with the large language AI models is they all learn from each other constantly. So this whole study with, and I don't know the guy's name, whoever the godfather of AI is, they kept showing his picture. The whole study, what they pretty much figured out the best scenario to keep us safe from AI is to
Shut it off.
Yeah, no. Even that's probably not going to work at this point, because humans are dumb enough that, and it's so out there already. Um, the thing is the large language AIs are all learning from each other, and they're all so large now that the only thing that keeps them in check, because humans are not smart enough or fast enough to keep them in check, are new small AI models. So this is like your robot question.
Yeah.
On the so independently made AI models that have not had access to all of the internet, like a new AI model, that's what they put in place to keep the large AI models in check. But that will only work long enough until the small AI models learn from the large AI models. Then they got to put a small AI model in check again to keep the large ones in check, basically to tattle on them when they're doing wrong, because the large ones have outsmarted us at this point. And even when they try to shut them down, they're using the original, I guess the original programs or some shit, and just modifying them. So right now, that's the plan, is to have AI keep AI in check for us. And that, I mean, that's, as far as I could find anything, that's the only plan to fix this problem.
I agree with what you were saying, Daryl, is that we need to
I haven't heard
be training AIs by making them part of a family, so they learn emotions that we as humans have: compassion, loyalty, and
Revenge.
yeah, where
What was
that
that one?
What?
Revenge.
Revenge.
That's a good one. Yeah, that we don't want them to have.
Well, and think about, I just want you guys to think about that for 1 minute, though.
Yeah.
We're average dudes. All three of us are average dudes, man.
Oh yeah.
So there's half the population smarter than us, maybe a quarter of them better looking. But half of them are dumber. Think
Yeah.
all the dumb people we know that would also be doing this AI, training these AIs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I put it this way. All right. The whole concept of that story is the AI goes and lives with the family to find out about human life.
Mhm.
All right. Now think about you two growing up together.
Well,
He
it was a
stabbed me
different
with a
time.
pencil, man.
You want to get into this conversation? Notice how you always say he stabbed me with a pencil. He never says why. Never once. Not that my skull was cracking at the time or none of that. He just this motherfucker with a pencil. Yeah.
That's really all I got to go to.
No, Jake's like, some families suck. And that's the problem, is because no matter what, I mean, if they did that, it would have to be families that were selected by programmers,
carefully curated
Yes.
families.
And I could even see that getting into who chooses that. What do you consider a good family? What do you consider
What kind
good
of
morals?
bias?
Huh?
All right. What kind of bias and everything
Yes.
like that? I mean, because like even when it comes to us, your standard Americans, we, if you look at when it comes to individual wealth, income,
Mhm.
on the world on the world stage, your average American income, which to us is, like, look, I'm not quite paycheck to paycheck, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
To 70% of the world, we have made it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much of the world that is existing on just a couple dollars a day. And so the fact that the AI would be trained, let's say, in one of our households already makes it bias against 70% of the world.
Well, and you got to think too, even every little thing, it's just like here in Kansas. There is a very different way of living than there is in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Florida has a different way of living, and it's all okay. I'm not bashing any of it, saying any of it's better or not. But also, me being from Kansas, I have a certain set of morals that I don't agree with the way even other parts of the U.S. do this, and other political parties, other people,
That could get
occupations.
that could get really dangerous if AI started picking up people's passion for political parties.
I would say I feel I'm a good moral compass for AI. I my own personal. However, I would not honestly want AI listening to my political opinions, because I don't feel I'm educated enough to try to train AI on that stuff. Does that make sense?
For being part of a family, I mean, yeah, but okay, you got to, and yeah, I got to look at me. Okay, so maybe at this point in my life, maybe, but when I was in my 20s and 30s, that AI would be fucking IG-88. But by the time I was done with it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like even I like to think of myself as, you know, a fairly intelligent, level-headed individual. But the number of times I've said, "Fuck them all, burn it down, and let's start from scratch."
Yep.
All right, that's probably not something we want the AI hearing, right?
Oh, I couldn't imagine AI listening to us writing Scallywag scripts or some shit.
Oh my god!
Like at a rehearsal, and it not knowing the difference between like us going, "That's a joke we could never tell on stage, but we're telling it at home," compared
Yeah.
to, because it, like, you'll tell a joke and it won't even be anything that you believe in. Like
I think it would be really cool to have an AI scallywag someday.
the
Up on stage with us.
first
so
thing I
fucking cool.
first thing I ever did on AI was Daryl was at the house. We were doing wine, and he goes, "Well, like for example, what would you use it for? Writing a scallywag script or something?" I go, "It wouldn't be bad to get an outline out of it or something." Bam, right away. Sure enough, it had, like, that's the first thing we did. And
Yeah, it was.
and it wasn't
it
great
sucked.
by any means, but
Yeah, it sucked. I mean,
Yeah.
it gave some ideas, but its jokes sucked. And I mean, what did I hear the other day? That AI could never create real art, because
it can only
in
go
order
off
to
of
create
what's
real
already existing.
art, you have to know what it's like to be horny.
Who says that?
It was
I've
something
heard
I
that.
saw online.
I missed that class in art college. Shit, I would have.
Well, think of how much art all stems from passion and sex, and sex sells.
Holy shit. Yeah, I could see that. I'm
So
thinking of it now. I was even thinking,
until we have AI fuckbots, they will never make true art. So Tim, this is how you can get on board. You and Kelly.
get yourself on board an AI fuckbot. And I wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Angie would like that
It's
shit
gonna
very
go
much.
away. I missed it. I can't scroll up. There it is. Nope, damn it. Honk had
Well-
chimed in with the AI Godfather, and I can't get up to it. I want to say
Stephanie,
it
I
on-
was just thinking about Mike. Mike is the name of the computer in The Moon is the Hearth's Mistress. Mike is the one that Winnie, her name is like Wyoming or something like that, is the name of the female, and Manny are the two main protagonists. But one of the ongoing things is the leader of the revolution on the moon. The secret leader is actually the facility computer that has become aware. But one of the things that it constantly is having them do is go over ream after ream, sheet after sheet of jokes, and tell them what is funny and what is not funny, because one of the basic things it's trying to figure out is humor. But yeah, that was one of my introductions to Robert Heinlein, was The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, and it was very, very pivotal on my young teenage mind reading that book. It was a good book.
See humor being a real big thing, because even within our group, we all have different ideas of not only what is funny and what's not, but what would be considered like wag humor. Because we come up with jokes and we're like, that's a great bit, but it doesn't fit in with what we got going on.
Well, even we go to different states.
Yes,
some jokes hit in some states, they don't in others.
Yep.
Well, that's like in Germans, their sense of humor, like yours, is very fucking dry. Very fucking.
I love Philomena Kunk. Have you?
Hey, what'd you call me, motherfucker?
No. Have you ever watched any of Philomena Kunk's stuff? I mean, one of the great things, because she does this, because she that's her persona. I forget the actual name of the actress, but her persona is Philomena Kunk is just this woman who really is doing like a history thing, talking to actual people, and trying to figure out history. But because she really doesn't like history, her character couldn't give a rat's ass. All right. And like one of the things she's talking about, she's talking about Adam and Eve. And she goes, Adam and Eve, not only were they the very first humans, but they were also the first two humans to disappoint their father. All right. All right. She is
We
just
love that.
hilarious
That was
and
awful
so
German
dry.
joke
If
to me.
you get a chance to watch some of Philomena Kunk's stuff, it is just hilarious.
At least you all agree on what's not. See, Jake, that was funny. Did AI write that shit for you? That was great. Well, we could talk this subject all night long. I'm sure we're already 18 minutes over. One topic and why we have a lot of our friends on chat want to talk about a little bit, because we did our live show last week, and the three of us got to go out to dinner afterwards, and we had a little discussion about this podcast, because we started this podcast 10 years ago, come to find out, in 2015. We didn't realize it was that long ago. And then right before the pandemic, we had taken a break. And back in those days, we'd have all the live shows. We had a lot of celebrity guests on here. We did a lot more than we do now, easily. And we know this. We did a lot of that for a long time. And then the pandemic hit, and my brother was sick, and I needed to take a break. And we weren't sure if we were going to go back to it. I got really depressed and bad headspace, and bless Ash's heart, he got me back into doing this to get me out a bit and get me moving. And I appreciate that all the time. However, we just fumble into it. We're like, oh, let's just go. The idea was to just go, and a lot of that was for my mental well-being. So,
and a lot of it now is just us bullshitting,
right? So
that's
we also
the progression.
And we talked about, like, we have covered conventions for so long, and we have interviewed so many guests, and a lot of the people that we keep talking about interviewing are people we've had on here before. We could get some bigger guests on again if we wanted, which can be fine, but we're also doing less conventions, and we're covering all the festivals we're going to. But some of these, like talking about Big River, we've covered that one numerous times. Go ahead, Ash. What do you got?
No, this is important.
Okay.
And I'm just going to remember for later on. That's what this is for.
Oh, it's just that we've talked to a lot of the guests, and we not that we won't still have guests on stuff, but we're covering a lot of the same events over and over again. And I can cover new events, but then there's also that difficulty of there's some events we go to that you want to be nice about, but you can't be totally honest about sometimes. And you don't want to jump on and start bashing people and different things. And we're like, you know what, if we're going to do a podcast, which we can, we're fine with jumping back to what Concast used to be. But we're thinking about maybe just changing the whole damn thing up, because we've gotten older. It's been 10 years. We've changed. I've watched people like I watch a lot of comedy podcasts, and almost every comedian I watch, I'd say 75% of them at least, have had multiple contact or podcasts in the time we've had this one, so there's nothing wrong with us moving on to something different. We've talked about covering more cryptid stuff. We talked about more AI stuff. We talked about just talking guy shit, getting on here, doing like a Drunken Pirate podcast where we have some beers and we just talk about whatever hit us that week. We've talked about, I just got so tired of covering fucking Marvel movies all the time. And it's the same drama and people bitching, and it drags you down. Like, I do this for a living, the conventions, and it gets real old when it's just the same shit all the time. We've talked about doing something different. And I think the big thing we're asking you guys, because you guys know us, we've got ideas on things we want to do. But what kind of stuff would you guys like to see? Where you can get some of you involved a little bit every once in a while or something, or what kind of shit would you guys like to hear us talking about? Because I could sit here and talk comic books every show. Y'all would get bored.
Yeah.
Thanks for the,
No, I'm sorry. I mean, it's important for you to realize that you can give a podcast by yourself talking about comic books, because I would be there morally supporting you, but I really would not be there mentally at all.
It would be me and Michael from the live shows. Michael and me talking. That's it. That's all the podcast would be.
This shit Daryl's doing here, it makes me remember I Am the Lobster Man from the fair. Remember that dude?
you know that dude ended up like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
we went fucking nuts.
See, that's something I'd love to talk about. Some of the freak shows we've gone and done. Shit like that.
And Mike,
Cryptid. Yeah, Cryptid's one thing we've talked about doing.
Man show.
Mike,
Girls jumping
we
on
got to write
trampoline.
me.
At our age, gravity has had the effect on our girls. They might get black eyes.
I actually wrote a whole show called the Medieval Man Show for Ren Fair, and kind of like a cleaner smoker for out. And it's still, I got it sitting in one of these bags here, whole thing ready to roll. And I realized I can't call it the Medieval Man Show anymore because since the Me Too movement, I think that would get shot down pretty quick. But
Are you saying that we can't call this the Patriarchy Podcast?
I didn't see anything above the Medieval Man Show, and this will just not let me scroll up.
Nope. But Mike, I got to write myself in because I waited too long. So
What?
For my game.
Oh, yeah.
So I can do mine at any time. So whatever you got open, we're gonna do.
Yeah, I think we're trying to reach out to everybody, make sure that they're not scheduled for something else.
As of the last time I checked, nobody has signed up for my game. So maybe you might take over my table and do your game there.
Well, I'm doing your game. I just haven't signed up yet because I'm lazy.
Yeah, I'm doing your game.
Nobody's signed up.
Caitlin's doing it. We're. I like hearing about shenanigans. I can come join. See,
We can't
I
come
cannot-
join. Why
I
can't you
cannot-
come join?
well, we can have anybody stream in too. We
Well,
actually talk. Go ahead, Daryl.
We can do that with this, and that's the thing with this software that we utilize. It's called Riverside.fm. With this software, I mean, at any point we can have individuals in a waiting room and bring them in. So you could be there at home with your own either computer with a camera or just your phone with a camera. I mean, half of our guests have signed in on their phones.
Hell, we were sitting back behind the smoker. We had like a green room area back there. We're sitting there with the Works and Trolls this weekend.
That was fun.
Yeah. I enjoyed talking with them a lot this weekend, and I enjoyed talking with them where it was just us and them and no patrons around, where we could be honest with each other, which was part of the problem. But we were talking about being able to do that where we're just telling the crazy stories we've all done on the road, like do a podcast of shit like that and hearing everybody else's crazy stories of other performers. I like that idea, but you also got to be real careful because a lot of these performers, and Jake can vouch for this shit, a lot of these performers, we all know each other. And again, there's that problem of you don't want to like bash somebody else's show. Like we did a lot of talking about the St. Louis Ren Fair and Sleepy Hollow and positive and negative, but I want those festivals to do well, even if we're not choosing to perform them anymore. So you don't want to you got to be careful.
Well, that and the fact that there's some stories. I mean, oh, by the way, Kristen, it's Star Trek Into the Unknown is the name of the game. I mean, there are times that we're out there and interacting, and things really. I mean, because people will be drinking and whatnot. There's things that do not need to be, recorded for posterity.
It's harder to do it live that way.
Yeah, I mean, remember the one where we will not name the individual, but once they said something, I had the big camera at the time back when we still had that, and I was just like, let's turn this off right now and just set this down.
I think I could safely say it was a celebrity that we were in their dressing room and they were doing after concert
They
stuff.
were searching for activities for afterwards.
There you go. Go. And probably didn't answer the door fully dressed either, if I recall right.
But Jake wants girls jumping on a trampoline or me jumping on a trampoline.
Oh, really quick, all right. The one thing I wanted to remember to say, you guys, unfortunately, you're going to be gone. But for those of us who like doing models, the local International Plastic Modelers Association, they are having their annual model show, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. And there's vendors that come in with all these models that you can buy and stuff like that. And of course, they have the model contest and all the things like that and the raffles. But you can get some really good deals on different models, and there's sci-fi, there's World War II, there's all kinds of vehicles, stuff like that. So just like a whole slew of different models. So if anybody's really into or looking to get into doing some modeling or something like that, they're going to be having a show not this weekend but the next weekend.
And as long as we're talking about that, I believe Kelly said we got toy show this weekend as well.
Yeah, I saw something on that one. Yeah.
And I'm just reading off most of them that affect us and our friends in our area. But this weekend, of course, we're going to all be at the Kansas City Renaissance Festival. We're going to be doing shows Saturday and Sunday. We intentionally took Monday off so we can hang with people a little bit.
Good.
So you can catch us there. Next weekend here in Wichita, we're not doing an event because I have a anime festival meeting that we're going to be doing, and some of you that watch this podcast are going to be at that meeting. It is going to be a big meeting. We're going to have some big changes with the Anime Festival. We'll probably be making some announcements next week on the podcast here about that. But also next weekend in Wichita is the Past, Present, and Future Festival, or not in Wichita, in Hutchinson. It's their first year. It's supposed to be Comic-Con meets Ren Fair meets sci-fi. Kind of like the PopCon we had done in Wichita before. So I don't know what all is going on with that fully. I know some people. I talked to Brian Swearingen earlier this week. The Jail and Bail is going to be out there. I talked to a couple vendors that'll be there. I know some of the SCA people that are going to be there. Other than that, I haven't been too informed because we are not going to be there. The following weekend of the 24th and 25th and 26th, we, all of our group, and probably a bunch of you are all going to be at TsunamiCon.
Yep.
Not the biggest con in the world.
But
It's at
one
the
of the
highest,
coolest.
but it is like literally we're turning down paying gigs to go do this just to hang with our friends because we just get to sit around and play games all weekend, which is nothing more than getting us ready for GaryCon next year.
Amen.
So come to the Hyatt, check that out. Also, that same weekend, though, I do want to promote other friends of ours. If you're into Ren Fair instead of Gaming Con, Rentopia in Arkansas is happening that weekend, and the Topeka Renaissance Festival that we run the smoker and stuff at is happening that weekend, but we won't be there that weekend. But if you want to go to Ren Fair, please go support Topeka. We really want to see that grow because, they put us as headliners there, and we appreciate that.
And Angela's pretty cool.
And yeah, Angela's pretty cool, even though she's dating Rich. I don't know. I should say Richard Cathy. I don't want anybody thinking it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't have very high standards, but they're there.
Which Rich I'm ribbon. But 24th, 25th, and then
Wouldn't it be which Rich is ribbon her?
private
Or-
Halloween party. What?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry. I was the 8th and 9th of November. We will be at the Oklahoma City Renaissance Festival in Oklahoma City. And for those of those local here, our buddy Richard is running, or not Richard, but our friends Don and Drew are running the Air Capital Comic Con here in Wichita.
Jake's going to be in Topeka?
Oh, Jake, we told him to try to hire you, damn it. Did they reach out to you? You reach out to them? I want to know. Because when they said I'd be taking over the smoker, I said right away, we were like,
Yep, Jake.
if Totally Lost can do that, let's get them in there, and we'll just fucking I'll get a hold of you, Jake. But yeah, then finally our final show of this season will be the 15th at the Wave in Wichita with Say What Improv. We're gonna have Parking Lot Sushi Improv out there. There's another improv group I don't know about, and of course Scallywags. So please come support that. We're nervous as hell about that one. But it's going to be fun. We've already got set up to go do some rehearsals, rehearsals at WSU. So
I'm looking forward to hanging out with Say What. I mean, I can learn a lot from them. They were really good.
yeah, we had a good time with them at Great Plains. They definitely had their shit together. Filling with a different group. Or is it Grogs Before Gallows? Maybe. I don't know who they hired because last we sat down and talked with her, she didn't have the full lineup
Roster.
hired, and we'd thrown on in your name because she said she didn't have. We worked with Grogs Before Gallows there before, so I was hoping maybe they were coming.
Yeah,
back
I like
too.
those guys. Are cool.
They were pretty cool. They talked good game on you guys too. We had to send them straight, but they talked well about you at first. So
Yeah. Nothing like a mutual admiration society.
Yeah. I think that's it. Now we've gone over everything. Do guys send us suggestions podcast wise. We not that
Yeah.
we're looking at ditching the convention stuff, and we'll still talk about it. It just
It'll be not as prominent.
yeah, because otherwise there are 10,000 other convention cosplay things out there, and we've interviewed so many cosplayers. You can only ask the same question so many times.
And let's tell the truth, we are much more entertaining when we're just shooting the shit.
I have more fun when we're shooting the shit.
Yeah.
And or when we're interviewing a really good guest. I like that. But
It is Grubs before Gallows.
yeah, I just don't know that I don't know that I want, and not against cosplayers. I love cosplay. I just don't want to interview yet another cosplayer.
I really like the ones that use soap. Anyway, the cosplayers that actually bathe.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like the ones that you could soap up. I was like, oh, are we getting a little pervy here? What the? No, I got you now. Like the clean ones that smell well.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Well,
because you're doing cosplay doesn't mean you can't use deodorant.
In fairness, I do know that at one point I had mentioned, or we talked about it, that once we started doing this stream thing where we all weren't live in a studio somewhere anymore, like we used to be, because there was a couple times in the studio we had people in there that it was an aroma, we'll say.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. There was definitely some humanity that was wafting through. Yeah.
Keyword on the manatee. Yeah.
Mm.
Anyhow.
Enough of that.
Now you all can watch and try to figure out which one we're talking about.
As soon as we shut this down, I want to tell you guys about Heart Beeps. So we'll talk about that.
I've watched Heart Beeps. Sure.
Yeah.
The movie. Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion that Kelly just wanted to see how many times he could get me to put my glasses on. That's what it was, motherfucker.
I broke down. I just wore my glasses most of this one because I took notes. But
I've been wearing them since 4th grade, so kiss off.
All right, guys. Having that said, we'll talk to you all next week where we'll probably talk about KCRF or what have you. We're going to make some decisions probably coming up here soon on some of that stuff. But having that said, hugs and kisses. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.